Hi, people. You're welcome to Opportunities Worldwide. There's an exciting new opportunity today. It's called the Professional Fellows Program on Inclusive Civic Engagement, and it's a fully funded training program for people engaged in the civic space, but with a particular focus on like disabilities, inclusion. So, are you ready to lead the next generation committed to disability inclusive civic engagement? If you say yes, then this fellowship is for you. Before I go any further, don't forget to like this video so that YouTube can share it with more people who are interested in things similar to you. And also don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss out on such content. And also if you know any young people between 25 to 40 who are in the civic engagement space with a focus on disability inclusion, don't forget to share this video with them. So let's continue. The Professional Fellows Program on Inclusive Civic Engagement is a professional program funded by the U.S. Department of State for emerging leaders in Africa to exchange and implement best practices for inclusive civic engagement. The program will support approximately 12 mid-career disability rights fellows from Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, and Ethiopia to participate in a 5-week fellowship program in spring 2024 in the United States. So, what is the fellowship program? What are the program activities? Am I eligible? And all that. Okay, so let's look at what is the fellowship program. Okay. Are you a leader in disability inclusive civic engagement, eager to bring new knowledge and global experience? Apply for the Professional Fellows Program on Inclusive Civic Engagement to learn from and collaborate with leaders from Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Ethiopia, and the US. Learn more about the program, its components, eligibility criteria, key activities, and available funding on this page. So what is this fellowship? The Professional Fellows Program on Inclusive Civic Engagement is a professional program funded by the U.S. Department of State for emerging leaders in Africa. It focuses on exchanging and implementing best practices for inclusive civic engagement. Every year, the program typically supports approximately 12 mid-career disability rights professionals from Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, and Ethiopia to participate in a 5-week fellowship program in the US. So what is inclusive civic engagement? Inclusive civic engagement aims to ensure equal rights and opportunities for people with disabilities to participate in civic life and society, as outlined in Article 29 of the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. In the United States, civic engagement is a core strategy used by the disability community to advance the rights of people with disabilities. This idea is enshrined in the motto of the US Disability Rights Movement, Nothing About Us Without Us, which has been adopted by disability rights activists internationally. The motto emphasizes the importance of involving people with disabilities in decisions that affect them. So, what does this fellowship program involve? As a fellow, you will learn effective approaches to enhance your efforts to build and strengthen fully inclusive civic societies for people with disabilities in your country. The core of the program is an individual fellowship placement with a US host organization. Prior to the placement, you will select a key policy or practice issue related to disability and civic engagement in your country. This issue becomes the focus for your individual fellowship placement and informs the follow-on project that you will develop and implement within 6 months of returning home. Please note that your project should be implemented without the need for additional resources or financial support beyond what is available in your current work or volunteer position. The fellowship will also include weekly seminars, mentorship, and community service. So here is an overview of the program stages. You'll begin your US fellowship. It will involve participation in virtual sessions with program staff to prepare for your fellowship experience and travel to the US. Then you'll engage in your fellowship. You work with your US host organization, sharing insights and best practices on disability inclusion across different cultures. And then thirdly, you'll develop an action plan. You'll collaborate with US colleagues to develop an action plan for a follow-on project that you'll implement upon returning home. And fourth, is that you'll attend the Professional Fellows Congress. where you connect and network with more than 100 professional fellows from around the world during a 4-day conference in Washington, D.C. And lastly, you'll sustain your project. After your fellowship in the US, your US host might visit your country to provide additional support for implementing your follow-on project. So, am I eligible for this project, for this fellowship program? You should be between 35 and 40, as I had earlier on mentioned. As of the first day of the fellowship program, you should be a citizen and resident of Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, or Ethiopia. You should be eligible to receive a US J1 visa. You should be proficient in spoken and written English. You should have work experience of at least 2 years of professional work experience, and you should have the ability to travel to the US for the 5-week program duration. So, important to note is that if you use American, Kenyan, Tanzanian, Ugandan, or Ethiopian Sign Language, please let the fellowship organizers know, and they can provide American Sign Language interpretation or cover the cost for interpretation in other sign languages. For more information and to confirm eligibility, please review our fellowship eligibility checklist. You come and see all that at your own pace, but it has to be very, very similar to what you've already seen. So they encourage individuals from diverse backgrounds, including individuals with disabilities, to apply. So I think you don't have to be a person with a disability to apply for this. As long as you're working on disability rights, you can apply. So the fellowship program is held annually, starting in early to mid-May and ending in early to mid-June. The program is held in person in the US. However, if there are COVID-19 related travel restrictions, it will be conducted virtually. Okay, is there funding available for this fellowship? Yes, you receive funding and support for round-trip travel between US and your home country, fellowship-related travel within the US, travel interruption insurance, accident and health insurance for the duration of the fellowship in the US, living accommodation in the US, living allowance to cover meals, local transportation, and incidental expenses, cultural allowance to spend on books and attending cultural events, disability-related arrangements if needed, and an internet hotspot. So this is the application form. And the deadline is May 15th, 2024. Okay, so here there's guidance on how to apply for this. Let's first have a look at what the application form looks like. Okay, so we have looked at everything. The application form is here. So this is like the same information we already looked at. So you'll come and continue with the application form. I'll stop here because it's really a simple application. There's nothing much I can advise on. So if you know any young people between 25 to 40 working in the disability inclusion space, share this video with them so they can come and apply. And also don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss out on such content. Goodbye.